Hi, I'm Dennis from Plain Truth Ministry. Welcome to Friday in the Word. Today I want to talk about the idea of God's wisdom versus earthly wisdom. And the passage that we're going to use comes from James chapter 3. But before we go there, in what's commonly referred to the Beatitudes, there are a couple of verses that talk about what James will be talking about. And they're in Jesus' words. In Matthew 5, verse 7, Jesus said, Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. And then in verse 7, he says, Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. James takes these ideas in chapter 3 of his letter, verses 13 through 18, where he says, Who is wise and understanding among you? Let him show by good conduct that his works are done in the meekness of wisdom. But if you have bitter envy and self-seeking in your hearts, do not boast and lie against the truth. This wisdom does not descend from above, but is earthly, sensual, demonic. For where envy and self-seeking exist, confusion and every evil thing are there. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, willing to yield, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. Now the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. So in these verses, James talks about both meekness and being a peacemaker when he contrasts godly wisdom with earthly wisdom. James says that our wisdom should come from God. And if it does come from God, we will act in meekness toward others. Now, many people mistake the idea of meekness for weakness, and nothing could be further from the truth if they say that the two are the same. Meekness is a humility that comes from knowing and understanding the truth, that comes from having godly wisdom. It allows us to know the truth, to live in the truth in a humble way and not beat people over the head with it, but to be able to share it honestly and truthfully with others in whatever situation we enter. Earthly truth, however, as James says, comes from envy and self-seeking. Earthly truth is built on what I believe based on what is around me is best for me. James says confusion and every evil thing are there, where we begin to rely on earthly truth. The problem with earthly truth is that it is based on the environment around us, which changes over time, creates new quote unquote truths, changes our mind over time depending on our situation. There's no center, there's no completeness to that truth. Is it an ever changing way of thinking? And we believe wisdom in that form is something that will serve us over and above others. Godly truth has no relationship with that. Godly wisdom has no relationship with that. As James talks about godly wisdom, in verse 17, he says, Wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, willing to yield, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality or hypocrisy. Being without partiality or hypocrisy means that we are simply stating God's truth as we have been taught and as we have learned. We are in no way trying to say that what others choose to believe is wrong or wrong for them. We are simply saying that Here's the truth that we believe. And because it is from God, we believe ultimately that it is the one truth. We don't have to escalate arguments there. We can stop there and allow other people to decide whether God's truth is what they want or their own. God bless.